All right, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is King of Cards, Tarot Readings. This is going to be a general collective message. You know how it is. You know what I'm about. I'm trying to see that good. I'm trying to find that good. I'm even trying to make things better. Because if you can see it coming, then you have not always options, but sometimes you have a choice you can make or an action you can take. Yeah. So, we've been on a good streak. We've been really we've been really doing it. We've been making things happen. And it can be hard to not get caught up in the momentum of what happens when things happen. So, my flash reading is chill out a sec. I know I told you to take a rest a while ago, and maybe you thought this is the last rest I'm ever going to take. However, let's make rest part of our lives. Have you considered that? Yes, I know sleep is fairly traditional. Most people seem to do it fairly regularly, but my beautiful collective, I know you. I know your relationship to sleep. It's not normal. You don't sleep until you're plumb tuckered out, right? You push to exhaustion. That's where sleep comes for you. I'll bet a small percentage of you don't resonate with that. And maybe you've had healthy sleep schedules in the past. Perhaps some of you. But right now, how many of you can say that your sleep schedule is healthy? Now, I know myself, and I know that I'm doing pretty good. I am prioritizing sleep as a part of not only my daily, but my weekly routine. And so when it comes around to the weekend, which I now have a traditional weekend, for the longest time I worked weekends, usually double shifts, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And so my weekend was sporadic. I didn't know when I would get the chance to sleep in. Now I have a fairly good idea of what days of the week I have the potential to sleep late. And I take it. But this is not the kind of rest I'm talking about. Bring it back around. What I'm talking about right now is you need to sometimes feel the steps you take individually. Like, don't just get caught in the movement, plodding your feet to catch you as you fall forward, but actually take a step, feel it. Feel the placement of your body in that new position, the foot, the ankle, the knee, the hip. Did it land well? Is there something underneath your foot? Can you stand on that foot alone? Could you lift your other foot up and hold yourself? If not, take a second. Put yourself onto that foot. Then take the next step. It's so easy to think that the line is contiguous, congruent, but it isn't. It's really made up of a series of samples, as we say in audio, a series of frames, as we say in video, right? Some of you know. And then something called linear interpolation is applied to smooth the movement. But that smoothing interpolation algorithm is kind of costly. And so the more jagged, the more movement occurs between steps, between samples, the more smoothing has to be applied from step to step, from frame to frame. And so, wow, this is a long ass flash reading. I haven't even told you what the cards are. That's funny as fuck. You know, I was mad at myself the last couple readings because I didn't have a lot to say. Because they were so simple. But, look, things are always changing, okay? I cut myself off before I speak so much. It sucks. But things are changing. And that doesn't mean they're not going to change again. They are. But that doesn't mean they're not going to stay the way they are for a little bit. And that's what I'm talking about. Step by step, day by day. Breath, breath, breath. Every step, every breath. Let yourself sink into them. You'll forget. You'll jump around. But take the steps you can take firmly, firmly. Find your balance. Find your peace. Find where your weight is being born with an E. Not birthed, but carried. What is bearing your weight? Is it your ankles, your knees, your pelvis? Find motion in stillness. Find stillness in motion. These are not esoteric ideas. Ask dancers. Ask gymnasts. Ask any master of their craft. You have to understand the steps along the way. Any fluid motion has discrete turning points, places where adjustments can be made. I'll say it so many times in different ways. And each time I say it, I remind myself, I must do these same things. Look, we're still in the flash reading. You have no idea what the cards are yet. I know you have no idea because I haven't put them on the screen yet. That's a step I have to take. It's a choice I get to make. King of Cards. Tarot readings. You know, it's not just ink on paper. But trust me, when I put ink on paper, it's a choice. Okay? So, Maybe someday you'll find that out. Maybe someday you'll ask me. Doesn't matter. I don't care. You don't care. Nobody cares. Look, just pay attention to what you're doing. Stop moving so fast. Stop trying to pass every car on the freeway, okay? Sometimes just stay in your lane. Drive a little under the speed limit. Why are you always crushing so hard? You know you are. Why is your passenger so uncomfortable? Because you're weaving in and out of traffic. You're following way too close. Okay? You don't need to do that. What are you in such a rush for? Did you not plan out your day? Do you not know how long it takes to get from point A to point B? You don't, and that's my point. Okay? You don't have to rush. You'll get there faster when you get there slower. Sometime this week, I want you to walk somewhere that you normally drive. Do it on your Saturday, okay? The grocery store. Normally, if you drive to the grocery store and you get 5 bags of stuff, a cartload of stuff, I don't know how you shop, just walk there and buy one thing, okay? That's your homework. I haven't given you any homework yet, and I hate homework. Trust me. So if you don't do it, it's fine. But that doesn't mean I didn't give it to you. Walk somewhere that you normally drive and just get one thing. If it's not a store, then translate getting one thing into whatever the individual act of that space is. Do one thing. Okay. I'll get into the reading. I'll stop wasting your time. But who's wasting your time? Ask yourself that, huh? Who's wasting your time? Is it me? Yeah. King of Cards. Alright. So, for our main issue, we have the Knight of Swords in reverse. Now, the Knight of Swords represents the fiery aspect of air. And air is often taken to represent thought or light or vision. Fire is action. So, this guy represents the action of thought. So, the point is, he's moving towards his goal. But he's so focused on the goal, he doesn't think about the moving. The moving is secondary to the goal. Unlike the Knight of Wands, who is the fiery part of fire, he acts to act. So he thinks about the action. He has no goal. He's not trying to attain something, reach a place. The action is all. We talked about this. We'll talk about it again. I'm sure he'll come around. So, this guy's in reverse. Like I said, I'm getting. You need to stop just reaching for the thing, okay? Think about the motion of reaching. You got to put some ergonomics into your habits. This is key. This is super key. Okay. See how activated I am? Go back and watch the last 2 videos. I wasn't this activated. It was easy. It was plain as day. But this is less plain. It's more complex. Because this is more diverse amongst the collective. This is out picturing in very many different ways for you all. And I need you to get this. I need you to see it in your life. I need you to walk away from this and not just think that I'm trying to tell you something. I'm not trying to tell you anything at all. What I'm trying to do is shine light on a mechanic, a mechanism that we are all subject to. When you see it, you'll be there to help the fallen. You will be in the right place at the wrong time instead of the wrong place at the wrong time. We talked about it a while ago, too. It'll come up again. All this motion, all this swift speed, it breeds collision, and you don't want that. When I taught my brother to drive, I said, avoid collision. Everything else is easy. Avoid collision. Please. Slow down. Okay? So on the right hand opposal, we have the Ace of Discs in reverse. So, Discs is earth energy. Ace of Discs is the root of that energy. So, again, you have to be aware of the actual objects, not just the thought of them. So, you're not just reaching for your cup of coffee, you're reaching for a cup with coffee inside of it. There's a fluid. You've seen it. You've done it. Someone grabs a cup and it splashes everywhere. Why? Because they're moving way too fast. They're not paying attention to the motion of their body, the motion of their hand or their arm, or the motion of the cup, or the motion of the coffee, the fluid inside of the cup. You have to think about the objects. You have to do a little bit of rudimentary physics, okay? Calculate mass and velocity. At least mass and velocity. Whatever, it's fine. You're doing great. I love you, my beautiful collective. But what I'm saying is, this Ace of Discs in reverse, it's pointing to the whole set of things, because they're all individual things. That's the point. All of these individual things are not being recognized. So you need to learn to recognize them as individual things. Okay? This could be things on a shelf. Okay? This could be things on the floor in your path. Step carefully. Okay? This could be things balanced on top of each other. All right? So I said mass and velocity. Gravity, okay, affects mass. Gravity is a velocity affecting all mass at all times. So, unless you're an anti-gravity, but you're not. You're on Earth. So, remember that. There is a pull to the center of mass, the center of the Earth's mass. And the Earth's mass, y'all, come on. you don't even see. Some of you see. I applaud you. Those of you who see, I applaud you. All of these individual things add up to the earth. You are an individual thing, and yet you are part of the earth's collective mass. Your mass is attracted to the center of mass of all the earth's mass. It's crazy, but whatever. So, our left opposal, we have the Emperor in reverse. So, for me, the Emperor. He sets the standard for the whole kingdom. Because his action ripples out. Now, I know we've talked about being an example before. And in those examples, we weren't talking about the emperor. We were talking about the Hierophant. And the thing about the Hierophant is he is the face of a thing. But he is not the one who sets the standard, okay? The Hierophant is further down the chain. The Hierophant is in that position because of the Emperor. So, even though the Hierophant can subvert and abrogate the Emperor's standards, the Hierophant is subject to those standards. And if people are paying enough attention to the Emperor, if the Hierophant isn't going in line with that, they are going to take him to task. And the thing about the Emperor is he's not the face of the thing. He's like the body of the thing, the personality, the personhood, the person of the thing. So, let's see. This spectrum here from the Emperor in reverse to the Ace of Discs in reverse. It's like you're moving because there's this story, oh, I gotta get to work. Oh, I gotta get to the store. Oh, I got this whole narrative playing out. And that's your emperor. But if you're so focused on that you're not able to look at the objects in play of what's going on, then you're constantly going to be bombarded by things shooting out in front of you or things in your way because you think it's your way. It's not your way. It's an open, buzzing, cacophonic field. So, okay, settling down now a little bit. The Emperor is saying, if it's not you who is acting this way, be grateful. Be very grateful. If it's someone in your life, be so grateful that there's someone else who is the buzzing, zooming Knight of Swords. But in that case, You got to be really aware of where objects are, and you can be the stitch in time that saves 9. Okay? So watch for this action. First of all, in yourself. Most of you collective, it's you. Trust me. But for those of you who have been listening to me, who are aligned with my awareness and focus, for those of you who meditate and drink water, you're going to be interacting with people who are of this mindset. And for some of you, it's going to be your whole team. For those of you who work on a team or work with a team, do a little mindfulness training with everybody, okay? Remind people to close the doors they open, to turn off what they turn on. Yeah, it's a very well-rounded approach here. So, let's see. For our deck top card, we have the Seven of Cups, which is called Debauch in this deck. So, this card refers to a system which has begun to exceed its limitations, its boundaries. So, again, this is the coffee cup spilling all over. So, if you move too fast, you splash your coffee all over. That's now a mess that has to be cleaned up. And if it's not cleaned up, now it's a hazard someone could slip on the floor. And it's a cascade of catching up that could be cut off, stitch in time. Okay? That's the title of this reading, Stitch in Time. Okay? You catch it at the beginning, at the start. You save yourself all of the other actions that have to be performed to make up for that negligence. So please, 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 everybody, let's just pay a little attention on the front end, okay? Let's save ourselves the trouble. You know? Let's not cry over spilt milk. Let's not spill the milk. Okay. You guys got it. Come on. I spent 12 minutes in the flash reading? You know exactly what I'm telling you. You know how this applies to every fucking aspect of your life right now. You see it. Where are things thick for you? Where do you find ease? Take the time, align yourself, give yourself permission to not do everything. Better to leave something undone than have to do 20 things because you tried to do something quicker than you're able to. If there's 3 seconds left on the do not walk sign, wait. Don't rush across the street, okay? Please, everybody. Cross at the crosswalk. Press the button. Wait for the walk sign. Look both ways, even though the walk sign's there. All of these things will save you and the people around you so much disaster. And this isn't a warning of disaster. It's not saying, oh, watch out, there's disaster on the way. It's saying gravity affects everyone equally all the time. it never goes away. So please be aware of mass and velocity. Okay? Avoid collision. All right? So, thanks everybody for coming for this general collective reading. I've said it before, and I will say it again. Please like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you will know when new messages are posted. All right. This has been King of Cards Tarot Readings. Thank you for coming by. And until then, I'll see you real soon.